Hey guys, it's me Astrid, and I am coming at you with a September to February update on quitting my smartphone and using a dumb phone. So what are we going to cover in this video today, my friends? Well, we're going to talk about why I quit the smartphone, and you can watch my previous video if you want a fuller explanation of that. I'm going to talk about what it's been like since I switched. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of the Nokia 3310 and dumb phones in general. And I'm going to talk about what's happening now, what's going on with me right now. So let's dive right into it. Why did I quit my smartphone and use this guy? Well, smartphones in this day and age have become a pacifier. They've become something we use because we're all stressed out and we just want to alleviate the psychic pain, the mental pain that we're experiencing day in and day out. And it's really easy to just soothe ourselves by looking at stimulating things, stimmy things online. And most of us are in that situation. Most of us work too much and don't earn enough, or we earn plenty but have a terrible work-life balance, or something's going on, and so most of us use our smartphone way too much. That's a fact of life right now. And I wanted to stop that. This phone has eaten up my time for years. Screens in general have eaten up my time for well over a decade of my life. I've spent the equivalent amount of time as working like a full-time job looking at dumb crap on the internet since I was like 12. So what, 14, 15 years or more. And I'm a little bit horrified by that. I could have become a professional musician in half the amount of time daily over 14 years. I could be a master of some kind of skill. I could know more languages. I could have done enriching things for many years, and instead of doing that, I did shallow things that pacified but didn't enrich me. Now, it horrifies me a little bit when I think about it. I hate it. Another reason that I wanted to quit smartphones is because smartphones are a vehicle for a non-stop bombardment of ads directly into your eyeballs all the time. And being a person with poor impulse control, getting perfectly crafted ads that are aimed based on my habits directly to me, manufactured wants in me for stuff that I don't need, but I really, really liked when I saw it, and I wouldn't have wanted if I hadn't seen it. So separating from my smartphone was a way to separate myself from buying dumb crap all the time that I didn't need. Like, I have bad impulse control. I don't go to Target by myself anymore. So why am I looking at this phone? It's the same thing. Yeah. And the smartphone wasted my life away. It stopped me from keeping my house up. It stopped me from doing stuff with my garden outside. It stopped me from interacting with my husband and my cat, my friends. And so I wanted to try something new. What has it been like since I quit the smartphone, you may ask? Let's talk about something my husband and I like to call pulls. So I only have the experiences of my husband and I as far as smartphone quitting goes, but we had a pretty consistent experience between the two of us. The day after we switched to a dumb phone, we very suddenly started feeling our body physically feeling pulled to go check the phone, see what's going on. And I felt pulls, and he felt pulls like every few minutes, or for me, every few seconds, the very first day we quit. It was like, oh, what was that episode? What does that word mean? What did my friends say on Facebook? Is anything new on Reddit? All day. Day 2, it happened like a couple times an hour. Day 3, it happened a few times over the day. And by day 4, both of us were like pretty, detoxed from our phone. And it was really nice. It happened so quickly, and it felt so nice to not constantly want to look at your phone. It was awesome. Physically using my little tiny smartphone is also really nice because I have tiny lady hands, and this fits in my tiny lady hands. I don't need a pop socket, to hold it. It's nostalgic to like text on this like crappy little texting interface. I really it's fun kind of in a way. I like that. This phone is so cool. And also, check this out. It fits! Ta-da! It's been really great. It's cute. And as far as my life goes, I've developed new hobbies. I have done new things since I stopped constantly using my phone every single day. I made wool slippers by hand for myself and my husband. These aren't the best, his are better, but I did it. I planned a garden and bought seeds for it. I'm gonna like actually film, hey, plant loving YouTube friends, I'm gonna film it. A garden growing for the first time, my first time managing a garden. I looked for other ways to enrich myself rather than just being online, even on a laptop. So I decided at bedtime I'm going to read a book to help me fall asleep instead of look at the internet on a laptop instead of a smartphone, which is a little bit cheating. And most of the time I don't read to fall asleep, but many times I do, and I read new books. I read a book on human behavior, I read sci-fi, I read things I'd never read before, and that's been nice. I also decided that instead of using the internet all the time, I would, you can watch YouTube videos forever, or you could watch a movie. So I've gotten to watch classic movies that I've never seen. I got to see Vertigo for the first time, and I've never seen Hitchcock. That was so lovely. I got to see Some Like It Hot. I've never seen Marilyn Monroe movies, and it was like really funny and witty. I've gotten to watch so much, and I loved that. I have a better connection to my own culture having seen those. It's been nice. I'm better at tidying my house. I'm not great. I learned more cooking. I went and was face to face with my friends more often. It's been very good for me. But yeah, let's talk about now the pros and cons of this Nokia 3310 and dumb phones in general. Like I said, easy to hold, small, lightweight, battery, lasts for days. I don't have to charge it every night. It really amused the kids at the middle school I work at to see me pull this thing out. Said, "What is that?" And I was like, it's a phone, 12-year-olds. It's a phone. And they said, "Why do you have that phone?" I was like, "Well, I grounded myself because I didn't do my chores and I use Facebook too much. So I'm making myself have this." And they were like, "Oh my gosh." They were so excited to see me get ungrounded from this. They were like, "You have your smartphone, are you ungrounded?" I was like, "Yeah." It's fun. I don't know, I love it. Yeah, the cons of this phone though are that it doesn't have a 4G option, specifically the Nokia 3310 in the US and other wealthy countries doesn't have 4G. I think that's because companies know that people in richer countries will buy a smartphone if we have the choice and we're not shown other options. So they'll market this to us, and they didn't give a 4G of this phone because I think they don't want people to buy it instead of a smartphone. Whereas in countries where the 4G is available, like China and Pakistan and India, there are more people who can't afford an iPhone, so they'll buy that instead. I think that's why that's happening. And not having 4G on this phone means that I have to switch my SIM card into my smartphone if I want to use Google Maps on a trip, if I want to like price shop when I go to the grocery store or something. So switching between, that's kind of annoying. However, my husband's dumb phone, which is like an LG flip phone, his phone does have 4G, so he can make a Wi-Fi hotspot if we're out together. I can still keep this and use his hotspot for Google Maps and stuff. Another big problem with the dumb phone is that group texting sucks on it. It sucks. My family has little group chats where we send pictures of our pets to each other. I plan like weekend outings with my girlfriends via group text because it's the easiest way to do it. And when I do that, I have to switch my SIM card back into my smartphone, send all the texts, and then the day before the event, I have to switch to the smartphone again, make sure everybody, because if I get group text here, it sends us individual messages. That's a big pain in the butt for me. And so that's a big snag. That's a big problem. Another issue is that I have what I like to call calendar paranoia. While this phone has functional alarm clocks that work the same way as on a smartphone, it has the flashlight, it has a timer, it has calendar data storing. You can put all events in the calendar, have reminders just about as well as on a smartphone. What it doesn't have is like the connection to Google. It doesn't have cross-device calendar capability. So I've been very afraid that I'll miss events if I put some events in this phone and some events in my smartphone. I'm scared I'm going to miss something and forget it. So, having my smartphone is more comforting for me as far as remembering to do things. But what are we doing now? Astrid, what's happening right now with you? Well, I'm back on my smartphone. A couple days ago, I took the SIM card out of my Nokia. I put it in my smartphone because of the cons that I listed. And also because I feel that I've made a lot of progress with my mental health, my social health, my housekeeping, my creativity. Doing this experiment and having this dumb phone for a while has really, again, excuse me for the hippie words, detoxed me and allowed me to do things that benefit myself. That's fancy. What I wish for is that I could have 2 SIM cards with the same phone number that are active the same time on both of these phones. That way I could not have to switch, and I could use this phone all the time unless I needed some feature of my smartphone, and all my calls would go to both and all my texts would go to both. Because one of my biggest deals is that some days when I am a little stressed, I want to just leave my smartphone far away from me. But if I do that, I'm going to miss a phone call. What if my friend is having an emergency? What if my family is having an emergency? I need to be able to get calls, and I don't want to just switch all the time, so I'm kind of stuck in limbo. It is not possible to have 2 SIM cards with the same phone number at the same time getting calls on 2 cell phones. It's not. So I'm stuck wanting a product that I think doesn't exist. However, this dumb phone is an excellent tool. If I ever find myself, when I have babies someday, like ignoring them because I'm texting too much or on Facebook too much, I'll put the SIM card in here. Use this instead of my Google phone. If I find myself getting stressed out and compulsively using my phone and not doing chores, again, I can switch my SIM card into here. This little phone is gonna live forever. It's durable. It'll serve me all the time. So I have a great tool. I've learned a lot of new things, and I'm really grateful for this experience. If you're thinking about taking the plunge, the Nokia 3310 is $60. Other dumb phones that have a little bit better features but are less cute, in my opinion, cost about the same. And they'll have 4G, so you can make a hotspot. Do it. Try it. It's good for you. Happy lives, happy learning, happy loving, happy growing. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.